subscribe, and we're good to go. You can also log on to Facebook, look for the Radio Christian Voice official page, and then we'll be able to catch you live in living color right on this particular program. Gentlemen, without really wasting much time, the Chipolo Polo trainer. All right, let me start with you, Andrew, then get on to Chair. All right, given the three frontliners that are being spoken about in the media, there's Watson, there's Beston, and then there's Numba. Who do you think could be the right man for the job, given a very critical stage we find ourselves in? We have just about a month to prepare.
Indeed, it's very critical, Lorenzo, and much as Mitchell made mistakes, firing him at the time like this, for me, that one I really didn't back it, because what we should have done is just the FA, the technical department, just sit down with him, look at where they are seeing errors, and so on and so forth. Because for me, what I saw in Mitchell is that he was basically failing to come up with a team. He had the material, but he was failing to come up with a team. The program he started with when he came, I just wish he continued with that, because it would have given him more, it would have given him more options, because he will have known the capacity of those players that he was bringing into camp. And he would have also come to put the professionals and mix that blend in order to come up with a strong team. So I don't know why he abandoned that, and that is for me, that was my biggest worry. And that's why you heard me a few months back, I used to say that, you see, if you put players together for a while, they'll blend, they'll understand each other. They'll be able to, to gel and understand the philosophy of the coach. But if you keep on changing coaches and you keep on changing players, it becomes very, very difficult to gel. It becomes very difficult to make a solid team. Having said that, what has happened, and we need to move on. For me, the three front runners we have, I would back Watson Nyirenda. Why do I say so? Watson Nyirenda, when he left a solid team, as far as I'm concerned. Watson Nyirenda did not, want to play names. He wanted to play players who were in form. Watson Nyirenda blended the old and the new. Watson Nyirenda blended the young and the old. He made that mix, and he was able to come up with a team. Watson Nyirenda beat one of the strongest teams in Africa, which is Algeria, home and away. Even at the time he was beating Algeria, Algeria was still very, very strong. It was one of the strongest teams in Africa. Still is one of the strongest teams in Africa.
In fact, they were number one in Africa.
Yeah, number one. Number one. Yeah.
The number one, Senegal is number two.
So, for me, really, Watson Nyirenda stands out. And I hope that, he's going to be given when he's given the job, I hope that he'll be given the latitude to perform. He'll be given chance to get his own players, and I hope that he will also be adequately compensated for his job, because that is another problem that we have when it comes to local coaches. We take it so we tend to not to be very we tend not to compensate them adequately. And we don't care whether the FA owes them money or not, which is a very bad attitude. So right now, once we have a coach, hopefully in Watson Nyirenda, those are the things that should be put in place. And then he should also have good assistants. He should have a very good team surrounding him. Because in Bemba we say Amano Liweka Tayashinguke Koshi. That simply means you cannot be an all-knowing person. So when you have a blend of brains, it's better than when you have only one brain. Yeah. There's a saying that when you use one finger to try and harm somebody, you won't manage.
Or to kill lies.
When you use a fist, it will have an impact. What that simply means is that unity is everything. So, to our Zambian FA, this is what we're asking for as Zambia, that we have a good blend of coaches that should be able to, sit on that technical bench and be able to deliver. Based on Chambesh, for me, I have a few issues with him. He's a very good coach, attacking, but defending is quite poor. And he lost most of the matches at that he was in charge, purely on poor defending. But with attacking, he's excellent. Numba is still developing, so I know that I am a fan of young coaches, those that have got fresh minds. But so far, Numba is still developing, and giving him that mantle would probably be a very, very mammoth task for him. But I'm not saying that he cannot perform. What I'm saying is that it will be a mammoth task for him, and he can make, he will probably be unstable to try and perform. But he's a very, very good coach, and whatever he has done, wherever he has been, at Zanaco he did very well, though at some point he went down. He's gone into Zesco. First season at Zesco, he's been able to deliver. So yeah, he's a good coach. Wachambesh managed to help Nkana survive relegation when he came back from, was it Kansanshi? It was Kansanshi, yeah? Yeah, it was Kansanshi Dynamos. So for me, really, Watson stands out.
He's your preferred man. Yeah. He's your man. All right.
And I hope, like I said earlier on, he gets a good blend of assistants.
Okay. Yeah. All right, Chair. Who is your man? Between the three, who do you think could just make the right candidate?
I must mince my words. I'll start off with Besson Chambeshi.
Okay.
I want to think that Besson Chambeshi is the right man that can be able to guide the Zambia national team into success. First, let's get back into 2016, 2017 when we won the Under-20 Africa Cup of Nations. Who was the coach? It was Besson Chambeshi, assisted by Newton Nsonda and Tenant TC. Yeah, those were his assistants. And the technical advisor at that time was Weston Nyirenda. So why not get back to that setup, which brought us the Africa Cup of Nations? Besson Chambeshi in charge, put Weston Nyirenda as a technical advisor. Let's forget about these expatriate issues or foreign coaches or foreign technical advisors. I hope, as I'm speaking, the Zambian FA is listening. Forget about the expatriates. Let's go it local. Weston Nyirenda comes in as a technical man, technical advisor. Besson Chambeshi is in charge. They worked well during the time Patson Daka, Enoch Mwepu were able to win a South African Cup of Nations. When Sakara, who is now playing for Zesco, who is the captain of the side, we won it at Independence Stadium. Solomon Sakara, we won it at Independence Stadium. We beat Senegal. We were good enough. So bring back Besson Chambeshi. Now, make Besson Chambeshi pick his own assistants. This idea of feeding assistants should come to an end. Let the guy have a free will to pick people that is comfortable to work with.
Was he the one that picked Bilton? And
No. What I'm saying is now, assuming they were given the mantle, if Besson is given the mantle to head the Zambia national team, give him the leeway to be able to pick his own assistants that will be able to help him if he's comfortable. Because you see, even after the game, you sit back in the hotel, you relate, you talk to. But where you find the situation, this one is going the other side, the other one is going the other side, they can't even come together. The only time they can come together is time you're training. It's not good enough. Now, over and above that, let's compensate them well, like Andros indicated. The previous coach, he was getting $25,000.
So let's give the local guy $25,000 US dollars.
If we are bit, for lack of a better term, mean, let's give him $10,000. Let's give the 5,000 to the assistant coaches. Let's give also the technical advisor because he needs to be a notch above. Let's give him about $7,000 about, so that all of them are comfortable in
to share the cake,
to enjoy the cake. After all, the Zambian FA is pushing in a 15,000. The other government is pushing in a 10,000.
So his assistants and the technical director can share the 25,000.
Can share that amount. Because you've motivated the guys. Look at what the dollar is. Even at 10,000 multiplied by whatever it is today. 20. I'll still put it at 23 for argument's sake. At 23. Then you find a scenario where, the takeaway home will be very good for the coach. And it motivates. Then let the coach be able, for heaven's sake, pick his players. Players that he understands. This idea of Tumanotsi, we do all these things. No, why don't you pick that player? Why don't you No, leave it to the coach. Because the coach must have an independent mind to be able to decide which player. But Besson has traveled. He knows this country. He's played with the General from Ghana. He's coached, all of us. And he knows the kind of players that he can bring to the Zambia national team. That's why for me, I find it a little bit uncomfortable when people say we don't have players. We are not honest with ourselves. We have players. The onus of a coach is to groom those players, to bring them in, and he can be able to get something out of them. Remember when Wanda was a coach, how he made the boys run, how he made the boys perform. That's the time we were able to see Ben Auteza. They came to prominence because the coach was deriving maximum out of those guys. And truly, but based on if he was to be given the coach today, he could be able to maximize out of the same players that today we are saying they are not good enough to the Zambia national team. So for me, I have always been a proponent of local coaches. Even at the time Mitchell was coming, even before Mitchell, when Sven went, I said, let's go local. Let's pick local players, local coaches. The local coaches, let's have trust in them. We talk so much about 1988. Who was the coach? Samuel Zumunjovu. We butchered Malawi at Independence Stadium. I watched that game 7-1. 7-1.
I was there.
Yeah. Yes,
I was there.
We watched that game. That was a game prior for to the team traveling into Seoul. And when they went into Seoul, we knew we had a team. And look at even the way we qualified. We played Ghana. Very difficult game. We beat Ghana 2-0 at Independence Stadium. Kalusha scored the first goal. Then Wilson Chancer scored the second goal. But all the assists were provided by Charles Nsonda. When we went into Accra, a bit difficult. We lost 1-0. Efo Chavala saved the penalty, but off a corner, we were able to concede. But it was under a local coach. So let's have confidence. Let's have trust into these local coaches. Not because we dine and wine with them, then we must be able to look down on them. No. Let's give them respect. These are people. Look at it, even for Besson, like you've indicated. Look at what the magic one that he carried in terms of salvaging Ghana from a difficult position. And today Ghana are still in the Premier Division. So let's have confidence into these local coaches.
The late Jack actually predicted that Ghana won't go down.
Oh, yeah, Jack, but he said he was categorical. Yeah.
He even counted the number of games Ghana would win, and the number of games Ghana would lose, and the number of games Ghana would draw. And that's exactly what happened.
So that's it. In terms of the three people, you have the technical manager, the technical advisor, let him be Zambian, the head coach, let him be Zambian, and the two assistants. In fact, the assistants, you can even throw them to be three, because you need a goalkeeping assistant.
Yes.
Also, we've got a number of them. We've got Stephen Wansa has been doing the job, although he was dropped when going to Kosafa. We have also Davis P, who is doing great work in South Africa. He will also play for the Zambia national team. Kalino Kakonje now is being, brought in, he's being roped in. Those are things that you can be able to say, I find it a little bit queer. We get an expatriate goalkeeping for heaven's sake. And West Forest. Let the money be in. Let the money be paid to these guys. The guys will because you see, when they lose, it pains. When an expatriate loses, after the game, you will be paid. You're talking, Renzo, you're talking of mutual separation here, mutual and the Zambian FA. You know what it means, mutual separation? They paid him up to where the contract was supposed to end. You have to pay him off. Further of which he will take it to FIFA. Now, take our Zambians. Even that kind of money, if you give it to Zambians, you'd have invested in Power the Zambian. Yeah. But I'm not trying to be, to seek for Zambianization. But what I'm saying is, we have very good coaches, local coaches that can excel at international level.
All right, Andrew.
We may have considered 5 goals and scored nothing at the time Agret Yangi was coach against Algeria. But my feeling is that Zambia was defending very, very well when Agret was coach. So such a guy, you cannot ignore him when you're coming up with this technical team. You can't ignore him because he understands how to defend. And look at his games under. As he is coaching Green Eagles, they hardly concede. It's very, very difficult for you to beat Green Eagles. Very, very difficult. So such a coach, you don't ignore him. You must give him a role to try and mentor the defenders and make sure that they understand how to defend well. Mind you, Agret Yangi was a defender himself. Left back. And yes, and in the national team. Yeah. So he played football at the highest level. And so he would understand how to handle the defense. So as you constitute this team, Faz, it's good to consider such technical experts.
Yeah. Maybe another thing, again, we need to remind our, soccer fans today, is the fact that we won the East and Central Africa Senior Challenge Cup with a local coach, Kenya Brighton Banda. We had tried it. We lost to Malawi, we lost to Uganda, we lost even to Kenya, if I'm not mistaken, in the finals. I'm not too sure when Kenya can put a question mark. But it was difficult for us. But the moment that we brought in Kenya Banda, 1983, and that was the time Kalusha was coming to prominence, it was part of that team. And that's how we were able to win for the first time the East and Central Africa Senior Challenge Cup, which today is called the Sikafa Cup, which we are no longer there because we're into the COSAFA tournament. But again, let's go to the COSAFA tournament. We've won it with local coaches. You remember about George Mungwa? We won it with George Mungwa. We won it with, is it Fighton Simcon, if I'm not mistaken? Yes. And who is the other coach that we also won it with? So it tells you, I'm trying to give him a picture that with local coaches, we've had success. Even 2018 Russia World Cup, what Sonyeenda could have taken us there, if only the referee, is it Bondo, did not disallow Augustine Mulenga go in Oyo. Because we scored first, then for some reason the ref, But even in that tough group where we were second in Nigeria. Who was the coach? It was Watson United, a local coach. So this is what we are saying. And now you find other people come to you and tell you that no local coach can't go to a game. No, honestly, we watch the local games week in, week out.
We had some
week in, week out.
To read the game. We know them, but what we are simply saying is that we still have those that have the capacity.
Indeed,
and
indeed,
they can actually, be able to groom the team and help the team to turn the fortunes of the nation. These guys are able to, communicate with these players at their level.
Yes,
they are able to, make the players relax, because if he speaks Bemba,
you talk to him in Bemba.
If he speaks Nyanja, he'll be talked to in Nyanja. So that helps. It helps to create the understanding. It helps to create the rapport. It helps to create the relationship. These are things that you cannot run away from, because these are the qualities that will form, the strength of the team. Yeah,
but again, like we've indicated, GSC, Mr. Adrian Kashara, look also into the package for the local coaches. Mitchell was driving. There was a vehicle that was donated by Toyota Zambia. Give it also to the Zambian coach. Find something also for the assistant coaches. Yes. Motivate them. Because that vehicle is not for personal errands, but business. Looking for players on the Cooper Belt, where there's a tough game. Yes, where there's a tough game at Levi Manasa Stadium, they have to go. At Arthur Davis Stadium, the coach has to go. Because the foreign coaches, They were even given, perks for them to be able to travel outside the country. Do it the same. Provide friendly games for the local coaches as well. Quality friendly games. Like we saw the game against Senegal. Let's also give it to the local coaches. So that when the local coach fails, we'll say, no, because everything has been at your disposal. But when you find certain incentives, certain games, certain things are not being provided or catered for, then you want somebody to maximize or to provide the best that you can. It will be very difficult. Yeah. So let's help also the Zambian coach. Even by extent, send them to UK for 3 months when the league is in recess. You can send them to UK, to Brazil, to Croatia. You remember, we had President Andrew Kamanda had gone to Croatia. There was that, president to president, agreement, gentlemen agreement.
Where things exist.
Yes.
What happened? I always refer to this because, for me, I have seen it to be a very, very positive approach. What happened in 1993? We lose a team.
Okay.
Almost an entire team. Then we are given an opportunity to go and camp in Denmark for a period. Was it 2 months?
2 months, yes.
We go into Denmark. We went with Uncle Fred Wheeler at that time
as an assistant. He was also being groomed.
Yes.
Remember? Because the coach was what was the name of the coach? Posen.
Rod Posen. It was before Rod Posen was appointed. Because from here in Zambia, it was Fred Wheeler who was in charge of the team.
Great.
Rod Posen was appointed when the team went
into yes.
So here is a situation where this team comes into Denmark for 2 months. They are doing nothing but football. They are taught all sorts of techniques, and so these programs exist. We need to take advantage of such government to government interactions and use them to the benefit of the nation.
Yeah, although nowadays it can be difficult because of the COVID, the COVID era that we get into. But a single coach, we can manage.
Yes.
2-3 coaches we can be able to manage.
Yes.
The Zambian FA can be able to manage, or the Zambian government can be able to throw in, because we all know the goodwill of government in terms of supporting sport.
Yeah.
They can be able to say, first rise to the government through National Sports Council or Ministry of Youth and Sport. Say, we've got 3 coaches that we've identified. We want to send them to Brazil, and this is a package. And the government, I'm sure, will be able to agree to say, yes, let's send them
something you can do.
What we are going to do is we'll space them. The one goes to Brazil, another in Germany, another one goes to Netherlands. We have the Chris counters of this world using Netherlands. So we could be able to do that. Now, when they come back, we have different ideas, different, emanating from different countries where they've been to. And that can be able to enhance and help our game to be able to go. Yeah. But honestly speaking, let's help our Zambian coaches. The Zambian FA, you've got it within yourselves to be able to help the Zambian coaches, to be able to raise them to that bar. Because most of these that we have now, they could have, class A, but we have UEFA
pro license.
Yeah, pro license, which we can be able to get. Yeah. Danka, we also, you look at Danka, it's got something to that effect. Those are things that we must be able to help. But strictly speaking, let's go local, let's pay them handsomely, let's have trust and confidence into our local coaches, and we can be able to do it.
All right. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer signs a new 3-year contract extension at United. Andrew, is this exciting news for United aficionados?
Mixed feelings for me.
Why?
He's yet to convince me that he is the right man for the job. Yes, he came out second, but there were certain games that he was in charge that should have been clear wins, and they turned out the other way around. Times when you want him to come out and show that he is the manager, he mostly goes into hiding. That is just my worry. Otherwise, he's learning and learning very fast. Probably that is the reason why Man United have said they extend his stay. Yeah, he's learning and learning very, very fast. He's rubbed shoulders with some of the best coaches around the world. He's beaten some of these that are called have got that best coach tag. So he's learning and learning very fast, and hope that he can turn around the fortunes of Man United. Because Man United has great players. It has great facilities. It has everything that a team needs to succeed. what is just a hindrance from, as far as I'm concerned, is the manager, because if he was able to come up, like I said, I mean, he should have won the title the past season, because it was really under his arms, and he lost it.
Okay. All right, Chair. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, as well as Jadon Sancho, arriving at United for £73 million.
Why do you throw such kind of a question to me? Because you know for sure that I like Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Not only now, but at the time that he was able to get us, the Champions League in 1999.
Yeah.
You remember against Bayern Munich, a very tough game. He came in as
him, or it was
him.
Teddy Sheringham?
Teddy Sheringham go to the second goal. Who equalized?
No, it was Teddy Sheringham.
No,
Ole Gunnar Solskjaer.
Solskjaer got the winning goal.
Yeah.
Teddy Sheringham
Got the equalizer because we were down 1-0, and Sheringham equalized against Bayern Munich. He equalized, then Solskjaer was able to get a winning goal. Both of them coming off, substitutes from the bench. Now, yes, like it would get a little bit difficult for him in the previous seasons, but I think with experience he's coming in now, it should be able to help. I think he should be able to stabilize. Look at what he's done to the team. They went into Europa. The last time they were evicted in the semi-finals, but in the previous one they were beaten into the final. So that again is great, massive experience.
That is another game that you need to look at and assess him on.
Yeah, I think
in that game, it was really his to lose.
Yeah,
and he lost it.
Yeah, I look at it as a way that the 3-year contract that has been given to him is like a carrot that has been dangled at him, because they've said we've provided everything, we've seen what you can be able to do. Now, I'm sure this current season that the season that we're getting into in August, Manchester hierarchy are looking for a win. I mean, winning the title, because that's a list, I'm sure, on the table that Solskjaer has been given, that you must be able to win the league, win the cup, either the FA Cup, Champions League Cup, or the FA Cup. I mean, the league. So if he doesn't win that, I'm sure that there will also be a mutual separation, because the board wants success. The cabinet has been rusty for too long. Silverware hasn't been coming, so it's important that Ole starts winning games. Yeah, and beginning August, management will be looking at him harder, because again, you all know that Eddie Woodward is no longer at Manchester United. He's also gone. There's a new person that is coming in. So that rapport again, for it to work, there's need for silverware in the cabinet.
Okay, all right. Let me get to read some of the comments coming through. Anesu Wafawarova Shelter says, morning guys, thank you. John JB Steve says, still glued on. Hard luck to our girls. They put up a spirited fight. A draw is not bad. Thank you, JB. Now Lyndon, our good friend there, says, good afternoon, Lorenzo, White, Andrew, and Vache. Ramani are back in the studio. Barbara Banda doing it again for Zambia, though it was a draw, but we're still proud of the girls as we await the new Chipolo Polo coach. Willie Benuma, Best on Awada, watching from Kwahaya, Mongo City. Rexon says, good afternoon, panelists. I'm watching from Tendere. Nicholas J. Johnson Nyemba says, the Copper Queens played well today. Economist Carlos Winford says, same man who was saying local coaches have failed. Be consistent, Mr. Andrew. All right, so that's coming through from Carlos Winfords. How would you defend yourself?
What did he say?
He says you're the same man that said local coaches have failed.
Who did I say that?
I don't know. I don't know. All right, so that's coming through from Carlos Winfords.
I don't remember saying that. I don't remember, but my analysis has always been that local coaches have done well, except a few. Bukar Ziza failed in, was it Senegal?
No, it's Burkina
Faso. It was somewhere in the north anyway.
West Africa. No, it was in West Africa.
It was in West
where he started distributing other things instead of football.
And yes, he actually stripped off Kamishabwaya, the captain's armband, and gave it to, was it Elijah Litana?
Yes, Elijah Litana.
And Kamishabwaya played so well in that game. the following day.
The following game.
Bukar Caesar was dropped, and George Munga took over, and George Munga won. So there are some local coaches who have, the late George Munga, by the way, may he so rest in peace. There are some local coaches who have done well, and there are some local coaches who haven't done well. If my good friend can remember, I have always praised Patrick Peary, who went and beat a World Cup coach in South Africa. Alberto Pereira was beaten in his own backyard
by Patrick Peary.
Our own local coach. I have always referred to that. So,
and get also to refer to Ben Bamfuchile,
yes.
when he took us through the qualifiers of the Africa Cup of Nations without losing any game.
Yes, Ben
only a single draw and the rest were wins.
Yes.
Absolutely.
So, I don't know where my good friend picked me. I said, I have always mixed because I know that there are some coaches that have done well. Yeah. But when we went to the tournament, Ben Bamfuchile was a flop, isn't it?
It was difficult. Yeah. That was 2000 in Nigeria.
So we always mix this because we need to show the trend. It's very important for us to show the trend so that we understand, what we are discussing. It's mixed. But there are some coaches who have done well. And there are some coaches who haven't done well.
Yeah, in fact, the failure that you talk about, in terms of based on Ben Bamfuchile, it was a good try. We first lost the opening game against Egypt 2-0.
Yeah.
Hassan scored. Then the second game we played Burkina Faso, in which case we led through the late, the one who died in South Africa. Dennis Lotter scored, but we conceded in the dying minutes of the game 1-1. So our only salvage at that time was to win against Senegal at National Stadium in Lagos. But unfortunately, we ended up drawing 2-2 in that game. Hence, we came out.
Okay, all right. Chanda Chimbalampande says Fast should have stood firm and kept Mitchell. It's not his fault after all. It's these local planks, he says, playing in our local league that had Chair and company calling for the Serbians' head. They made a local coach because they're not respected by these local planks. Kabili won't say Chanda Chimbala Mpande.
Chanda Chimbala. Mitchell failed. The failure that you're talking about. It's justified in the fact that we were losing to teams like Lesotho, Eswatini, Swaziland. How did we arrive at such kind of, these are teams we were beating 9-0, but to start losing to them in a tournament.
And then he went with a team to go and play friendlies in West Africa.
Yes.
When he comes back, he picks a
different team.
So, there you look at the coach and say, hold on, what is the coach trying to do?
He goes to
if anything, the team that played in Sudan played extremely well.
Yes.
If I were Coach Mitchell, I would have simply said, guys, imani Montreal and South Africa kuko safi. Simple. Now he kept on experimenting, brings it. This one, how do you do that surely as a coach? There, for me, that's why I keep saying that talent is there. What was Mitchell's failure was to mix.
Yeah, bringing things. Even when you cook relish, when you put onion in a chani, onion or tomato, it's enough, it will help you. But when you start adding more ingredients,
then you miss things out.
Yeah, you miss things up.
Okay, all right. Pick of the week, look out for the weekend. Let me start with Andrew, then we'll wrap it up with Chair.
Pick of the week, Lorenzo. It's allow me to mourn Big Jack. We used to call him Big Jack on Diamond TV. Oh, sorry, on ZNBC TV on the dressing room program. He used to make us laugh. He used to make us, excited. When he's talking about Nkana, he would start with a low voice. As he is speaking, Lorenzo would be speaking on top of his voice.
And you pick up.
Great soccer fan indeed. Very entertaining. When Nkana wins, wow. You will have no peace in the studio. the man would simply take over. So this is a man we have lost, Big Jack. Sometimes called the father. So may he so rest in peace, and sincere condolences to the family, immediate family, the nuclear family, and to the soccer fraternity at large. as well as to Nkana fans.
Okay.
Look out for the weekend. I don't know when we are going to have the coach announced, but I would pick that one because it's a very, very delicate issue. And I hope the FA is taking it as such.
Yeah, Andrew, that has to be done now because come September, October, the World Cup qualifiers will be on. We play in October, November, then March next year. So it's important if the coach can be picked now, so that he's given ample time to look at his players, select players, pick players, look at their fitness, all those kind of things. Yeah, my pick as well is Jack Wangana Mbale, who's passed on, a very good friend of ours in terms of sport, and like Andrew has alluded to, it's quite painful, to lose such a man. Even from Ghana, those that support in Ghana, the players, the EXCO, just about everybody, they've lost. A supporter. My looking forward, what do I look forward to? Zambia versus Brazil. In terms of the ladies, we were beaten by Dutch 10-3. We came good against the guys from the Far East, the Chinese 4-4. That was good. I think it was an inspiring performance. Now we look forward to the Zambia-Brazil game. What shall we be able to do against the South Americans? Barbara, can she also get a hat-trick? That would be great for her.
Okay, great stuff. All right, we'd like to appreciate each one of you that did call in and send those text messages. Would want to encourage you to catch us next Saturday at the same time from 11 to 13. Remember, it will never be premier unless it's Backpage. As mejores amigos para siempre at this juncture, gentlemen. We have to switch off the lights and say,
lights out.